Hello, this is Diaspora Talk, a platform to share, inspire, educate, inform, empower on issues related to our social, family, welfare in the diaspora. My name is Diana Makomolo, trained registered social worker and family worker, and I'm also a community mobilizer. So today I'm gonna delve into the topic co-parenting. Co-parenting. That means parents are coming in, children are also involved. What is co-parenting? Co-parenting is a state whereby we have to take care of your children as partners, but as ex-partners, we are no more partners, but we have children together. That means we can be been living together, but then we are divorced, separated, or maybe we are just parents, but we are not anymore in the same house, and the children remains our children. Like we are no more longer in a relationship, but these children have to be taken care of. You are willing to take care of the children, I'm willing to take care of the children, or the institutions involved requires that all of us take care of the children. That means we have to co-parent. We have to, yeah, take care of our kids, and we are not living together. So I wanted to check on this topic because this is a common occurrence in the diaspora, and I know most parents have a little bit stressed full time doing co-parenting or co-parenting. It comes sometimes with a lot of fights, with a lot of trash talking. I mean, when the other person talks so bad about the other person or the ex in front of children, this is something that is very toxic. It kind of destroys our children. It builds this shield that is not good for the children. They will not understand why, why should we love him when mama is always talking bad about him? Why should we love her when daddy is always talking bad about her? So this toxic is transferred from us to the children when we trash our ex-partners in front of our children. So co-parenting, where there is fight, where there is trash talking, where somebody is always negative about the other, is toxic, toxic material, or toxic uh, kind of atmosphere for our children. We don't want this. We want to co-parent with ease. So to avoid all these things, first of all, we know we might have, background stories, or maybe we have issues with our ex-partners that maybe we have not worked on. Like they still pinch us, they still hurt us, we are still hurting from the struggles we had, from all those things we experienced with them, from we have not yet let go and maybe move on. So these things are still disturbing us mentally, and we kind of don't know how to behave in front of our children. So if you're still in this kind of situation, then let me tell you that it's not good for your child. It's not good for the children. It's not a good environment. It's not a good place. So just try to move away, or maybe put yourself aside, put your ex-partner aside, and put children first. And when I say this, I mean that try not to communicate bad things in front of the children. Make sure if you are sending them to the dad, you don't talk so many negative things about their dad. Or when you're sending them to their mom, if it is the mom's weekend with the children, make sure you don't say so many bad things, or don't even say bad thing at all about your ex in front of your children. Pack the bags, make sure you show them you love them, and if they have good connection with their dad, good relationship with their dad, then just encourage them to keep on building that relationship with their dad without being negative, without trashing, without talking bad, without pulling so much negative around that environment. No trash talking. So another thing is that don't use your children as your messenger. Well, you want to tell your partner something, so you're going to use the children. No, the children are children. They are not going to be there to come between you two. What you two are doing is co-parenting them. And because if you love your children, you want them to have the best time in their lives. So you're not going to use negative things to send them with to their dad. Go tell your dad this and that. No, don't use your children as the messenger. If you have something to discuss with your partner, make sure you arrange for discussion time somewhere, not in front of the children. And if it is has to be in front of the children, then it has to be in a respectful way, so that you are instilling the respect to these children. They will know that people must not be together to respect one another. People can be away from one another, people can separate, but they still, the human respect is there, the mutual understanding is there. And when the children see that you and your partner are respecting one another, then they are automatically going to be in a better environment. They will feel safer. I mean, nobody wants their child to listen to them calling each other bad names, fighting, shouting at each other. I don't want my daughter to hear that. I know it's so bad because the children get disturbed. The children get bothered. Why should that mommy hate daddy so much and she's always sending us to stay there for the weekend? Or why should daddy hate mommy so much, but then he wants us to come to mommy some of the time? They would be bothered. I mean, they might not tell us openly, because they're not in the place to discuss that with us, but they will be bothered. It's gonna affect them somehow. We might just ignore those things and say it's part of life, but for children it's actually not good. It's completely a no-go place. So we should avoid all those conflicts in front of the children, trashing each other in front of the children, using your children as a messenger to go and tell their ex-partner something bad or something that you want to tell them. It's not the duty of the children. Try to make sure that your personal issues, you don't involve your children. When you need to discuss them with your ex-partner, you get time or you arrange for a phone call where the children are not around. And I think it's very important that your personal things should be your personal things and your children should not be engaged in those kind of things. So that's when you will have to understand that communications come in. We talked about communication some times back when you're doing parenting. So communication is a key that is always coming like everywhere while you're parenting, while you're talking to your children, while you're co-parenting. Communication is very, very important. Whether it is verbal or non-verbal, it is very important. Your communication with your ex-partner should be in a respectful way. Make sure you watch on that so that you don't put some negative vices on your children, all those negative values that we don't want. Those are the things you don't want to share and give them to your children, because it can be passed from one generation to the other. They might think it's normal, but it's not normal. So make sure while you're co-parenting, there are no fights in front of the children. There is no trashing in front of the children. We don't use our children as our messenger, and we also put our personal issues aside and children first for the betterment of the children. And we also make sure that there's no disrespect shown in whichever environment. You can have your time with your ex somewhere, do whatever and discuss your things, but nothing should be in front of the children. Nothing that is advice to them, nothing that is gonna disturb them later. We should consider children first. If you find it very difficult to do the direct, co-parenting, there are also other, organized co-parenting that you don't have to involve each other direct. The institutions involved, in Germany we have the Jugendamt, in other countries they have the child youth care organizations or child youth care institutions. They arrange the parallel co-parenting. Parallel means you will not be meeting, but then there's a way that there will be arrangement, and the other person will get the children from the station arranged, and you can also pick them from the station arranged, so that there's no toxic environment for the children. So we are going to discuss about parallel co-parenting maybe in our next video. For now, just wanted to emphasize on co-parenting with ease, co-parenting without a toxic environment, because if you want to raise these children that are, children that are motivated to live their lives in a respectful manner, in an obedient manner, in a way that they have the human understanding for one another, then it has to start from us. We are the role models. So anything that is a vice, anything that is negative, anything that is not building our children, anything that is not helping them to develop resilience as they grow, is not for them. Make sure you part away from those things. It might be too hard to let go some things, but for the sake of the children, it is very important. So I hope this video helps you or gets you somewhere. Thank you so much for listening in. We're gonna share something on parallel co-parenting in our next video. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much. Bye. This is Diaspora Talk.